Welcome back everyone to the final episode of Lords Mobile's Beginner's Guide. I am your host Aevatrex, and today we're going to be going over to what I consider the most important thing in Lords Mobile. But before we do that, I want to just quickly go over some of the things that we have already gone over and explained how do you actually want to go ahead and do the things that we've already covered. Now, one of them was your research. What research is important, which research you should be focusing on early on, etc. Research is a very important part of Lords Mobile, so you should never skip out on it. The other thing was gear progression, what gear you should probably be focusing on at the start and then later on down the line, so that's also very important. The building layout that you might have, or you might be questioning what buildings to put down. We made sure that we went over all of these buildings and which ones you should be focusing on. Another thing that we went over was the artifacts, which ones to focus on, how to take them up, and all of that good stuff. We also went over the familiars, which ones to focus on and which ones you should be probably spending more on. And of course, depending on the type of account that you're wanting to build, some might actually take more importance than others, so that's also very important. And also heroes, because heroes are another big thing in Lords Mobile. Now, all of those things are improving your account and what your account can do, which is very, very important. But there is something to be said about actually having a goal. And what I mean goal is, it could either be a gear improvement that you want to do. Let's say I'm taking up this champion Kuras, and I want to go ahead and upgrade it to purple and gold or mythic at the end of the day, right? A goal like that will keep you focused onto what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be gear. It could be anything. It could be, okay, I want to make sure that I get all of these buildings to level 25. Having a goal in Lords Mobile kind of focuses you on what you need to be working on, what you should be focusing on. Because if you log in and you don't have a goal in mind, you just log in and you don't really do anything with any sort of specific purpose, and so you may waste a lot of time just taking up something else or doing this and doing that, except on focusing on something specific. Now, there is something to also be said about having a long-term goal and then a short-term goal. By that I mean, if you want a short-term goal, then you can set something that you can achieve within the next month to 3 months, something along those lines, something that's achievable for you, that you can, if you put your mind to it and you put the time in, you can achieve in 3 months. And I'll give you a perfect example of this, which is I'm actually working on myself. Right now, I'm working on the Grim Reaper. Now, I'm working on the Kiss of Death. It's level 7. And what I'm doing is I'm just upgrading this 3 times every day until I get it to level 10. Now, of course, since I'm only upgrading this 3 times every day, it will take a little bit of time. And I'm guesstimating that it'll probably take me about a month or 2. But this is one of the goals that I currently have. And this is a goal that I'm working on slowly. It's not a super long-term goal because I can be done within the next month or so. And so it's one of those like short-term goals that I have for myself. Every day I come in after it resets, I upgrade it 3 times, and I make sure that I am training it as well here. That way I can make sure that I'm using as much resources as I can on it, but also going at my own pace. And so, because this is a short-term goal, I know that I'll be done in about a month or so of just making sure that I upgrade it 3 times. Simple enough, but let's say that it's just something that I'm upgrading here and there, but I go days without improving it. I forget, I do this and do that. Sometimes I may go a whole week without remembering to go ahead and do this. That's a long time that you're staying away from an actual goal that you can reach. And imagine I'm over here in this familiar, I upgrade Contaminate to level 4, and then just go on to another one and upgrade Arrow Guard to level 4. Well, yes, that's all great and all, but you're going all over the place and the actual upgrades that you're getting are not making a huge difference. Whereas if I focus all of my attention into Kiss of Death in this case, because it is definitely one of the hardest ones to max out, then I know that within a month's time, maybe a little longer, I know that I'm going to be completely done. And that's why having a short-term goal is really, really important. Now, with that being said, short-term goals are great to keep your immediate attention, but you also want to have a long-term goal, meaning something that maybe you're not going to reach within the next month or two, but it is something that you want to accomplish. And in this case, for me, it will probably be something like this, like making sure that I get this all the way up to Mythic eventually. I'm already working on it, as you can tell. See, I have 11 commons, and then 11 of this, 12 of that. So you see that I'm already kind of making sure that I have enough to take it up. I can get it to blue at the moment, but eventually what I want to do is get it up to Mythic. Now, this is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen within the next month or so. It's probably going to be way down the line, but this is something that I'm currently working on. The Embers I'm also working on as well, but again, it's going to be a slow rolling on this. So once you have these type of goals, right, you have your short-term goal and you have your long-term goal. You have things that every day when you wake up, when you log into the game, whatever it may be, you have something that you know that you're working on. You know what it is exactly that you're looking to get, and then that way you're not just doing random things where it improve your accounts, sure, but nowhere near as much as focusing on one thing to get that thing done. Here's a quick tip for you. If you want some extra help in achieving your short and long-term goals, there's a couple of ways that you can go about it. Now, if you go over to your turf boost, there are what you call the special benefits. Now, this one would include the turf club, 7-day dash bundle, the familiar support, and 7-day familiar bundle. And essentially, these are bundles that will give you some extra boosts like research speed, construction speed, player experience bonus, which is really good, especially early on. You got the 7-day dash bundle that gives you some speed ups and resources, and then the familiar support and the 7-day familiar bundle will also be helping you quite a bit in taking up your familiars. Now, there are other benefits that you can take advantage of, one of them being the breakthrough bonus, which depending on the castle level that you reach will give you an X amount of gems, and those gems will go a long way to helping you improve. And the other thing that you want to keep in mind, it says they're VIP 7 and above only, so you gotta make sure that you reach VIP 7, and the way that you do that is you take a look at where it says VIP here, and you go ahead and you use VIP items. You can get points by using these items right here, and depending on the level that you reach, you will get additional perks as well. One of my most important ones for sure is going to be the gift opening automatically, and instead of opening one by one, you just click on this, boom, open, click on this, boom, open. Really, really nice to have. And now, of course, having goals keeps you playing, it keeps you engaged, it keeps you interested in what it is that you're doing. And of course, early on, a lot of your early goals will be getting maybe Castle 25 or maybe finishing a specific research. But that is the whole point of having a goal. And whenever you reach a goal, you're going to be like, okay, well, what's my next goal? There's always going to be a next goal. There's always going to be a new short-term goal, a new long-term goal once you reach those. And that's what's going to keep your account improving. That's going to keep you engaged. That's going to keep you interested because you're always working towards something. But you know what also keeps you as interested as you can ever be in the game? That is going to be the guild that you're in. This game does not work without a guild. I mean, sure, you can do it, but it's nowhere near as interesting without a guild. You need a guild to rally. You need a guild to do a lot of the events that are happening, like Guild Fest, Baron, Emperor, Chalice, all of those events. These are events that you look forward to being able to not only help your guild, but maybe your guild is helping you while you're pushing to get these the events and getting a win. There's actually an event coming up this month that's called Ultimate Guild, and that's basically where your whole guild comes together to ultimately be rated as one of the best guilds in the game. And the relationships that you form with your guild mates, with your R4s, etc., those are the things that are going to keep you playing for years and years, because you log in, if you have nobody to talk to, I don't care how good the game is, if there is absolutely no interaction with anybody else, especially in a game like this, you will lose interest very fast. So the main thing that you want to do is make sure that you find the right guild for you, because once you find the right guild that you enjoy talking to the people, you enjoy the interactions, you enjoy how they operate and how they do things, that's what's going to keep you in the game. If you ever join a guild that you just don't really enjoy the people there for whatever reason it may be, right? You don't enjoy the way that they do things. Maybe they don't go to war as much as you would like, or maybe they go to war too much. I mean, depending on what it is that you're looking for, you'll know right away, because when you log in, you're not really going to be too excited to talk to anybody. You just want to log in and do what you have to do and then log out really quickly. That's probably it probably means that you're in the wrong guild. You're not really in a guild that propels you to actually be better, and that's what a lot of guilds do. They help you improve your account. They help you by giving you tips. They help you by making sure that you're protected if you're ever being rallied. It all comes together with a guild. If this game didn't have a guild and all of your friends that you can play with, it wouldn't be Lords Mobile. It would just be a completely different game that just, it's a solo game. And this is not what Lords Mobile is. Now, once you find the right guild for you, this is when you're really going to start enjoying things like Kingdom versus Kingdom, which actually is coming up here soon, because it's just your guild going after the other kingdom and trying to get as many rallies off as you can. You will also start doing things like Emperor, which is really, really insane as far as how fast paced it is and the rallies that are going on. And all the really good one is going to be Baron, which also happens every 3 weeks, and it's really, really an entertaining fight. And then the other one is, of course, the Royal Chalice, which is kind of like a Baron but a little bit less of a high ceiling, and you can get amazing items for this if you're still working on like your gear or whatnot. So you get things like this. So you get gold items that you can use to increase your gear and all of that. So there's a lot of extra things that you can work towards, but you can't really achieve any of that without being in the right guild, without being in the right situation. Because if you join a guild that isn't really doing what you want to do, then your whole experience is going to be bad. So that's the number one thing before you start doing all of these upgrades and all of these blah blah blah. Try to find a guild that will help you not only on your quest to being better, but it will grow with you, and it'll do the events that you're interested in, because that's really what the end game is. Getting into a guild that will do Chalice and Barons and Emperors and things like that, because that's essentially what's going to be the end game war-wise. Now, if war is not really what you're interested in, right? Let's say that you're not really in it to go to Baron or for Chalice or whatever else it might be, but you also keep in mind that a guild will also be very important when it comes to things like Guild Showdown. You need your whole guild to make sure that they get in here, they put in the right lineups and all that. That way you can ensure victory. There is also things like Guild Fest that you need a guild to do well on and get extra rewards. There's Lord's Ball. There's a lot of non-war events that you actually have many things that you can actually get rewarded with. So at the end of the day, the guild is what it's all about. No matter all you do to your account individually, none of it is going to happen without a good guild with you. So that is going to be the most important thing. Well, that'll do it for Lords Mobile Beginner's Guide. Hopefully you lords and ladies were able to take some of these tips and apply it to your own account. And make sure that you're sharing these videos with your guildmates in case they also need these tips. But yes, thank you lords and ladies for stopping by, and maybe I'll see you in a kingdom here in the near future and see for myself if you're putting these tips in action. Until then, keep yourself and your account safe.